You've been told your podcast is a vital part of your business marketing. And for anyone that has started podcasting, you do know the dividends and the benefits that it can reap. However, maybe you're on the fence. Maybe you are a business owner, a small business person who thinks, well, is this just another fad? I'm going to tell you why your business needs a podcast and why you need to get into the mix with this audio marketing channel. I used to do a lot of B2B marketing. I used to do a lot of small business marketing back in my agency days. Very often what you would find is that so many businesses work with marketing consultants who, frankly, they're a little outdated and, they'll help you with their email list, but they don't really know how to up the conversion rates or the open rates. They don't know any of that stuff because they're not doing it for themselves. They also kind of know a little bit about SEO, but not that much. And what they used to do was they would just tell you to work with specialists. So this consultant would come in and get paid a nice cushy retainer and then tell you that you need to spend more money with other people. And it always used to frustrate me. What I used to think was that you're the expert. Okay, you know your business better than anyone. What you don't know is marketing. But what we see more and more these days, this is not like 10 years ago. The business owner, the company owner, the small business owner, the entrepreneur hid behind the brand. Can you remember the back in the day when you were told to always talk about being we because it made us sound bigger? I was told that. That was advice that a quote-unquote entrepreneur gave me when I started in business. Always say we because it makes us sound bigger. And I never do that. I always say I now because times have changed. Things are much more personal. People want to get to know you. Who are they buying from? Who are they doing business with? A podcast is one of the easiest ways of doing that. Now, I'm not going to get into what to talk about because that's a whole other session. I'm not going to talk about publishing schedules or any of that sort of good stuff. I'm going to talk about why you need this because that's what it's all about. It's that transparency, all right? It's pure transparency. People want to know who they are doing business with. If word of mouth is the way people hear about you, then understanding you and learning about you is why they come to buy from you. Remember, people buy from people that they know, that they like, and that they trust. And what better way of getting someone to trust you and to like you and to know you than piping directly into one of the most intimate places that you can, someone's ear. You're getting directly and talking directly to them. First and foremost, a podcast for your business is the perfect way of helping people to know what makes you and your business tick. It's vital. The second reason that I think every single business should have a podcast is that, look, when you go into a pitch, if you're a B2B business, if you're a B2C business, you need a presence that you can rely on. Now, let me explain this a little more. I remember doing pitches for digital work back in my agency days, and you might go in and you might quote for a 50K or 100K website for a company, and you'd be pitching against 2 or 3 different people. And what would happen inevitably is that the person commissioning the work would have a list of questions, and very often that person wasn't that qualified to ask them. It was the IT person commissioning the web design because websites are viewed on computers. I suppose the IT person should do the commissioning. That's how it used to work, all right? And then you'd have a marketing person and so on, and they'd kind of be, figuring it out as they went along. Now, what would happen is that we would get asked questions. We would get asked to pitch all the time, and we'd get asked all of these follow-up questions. But so were the other people that were pitching. Who is more likely to get the job? The person that thinks of an answer on the spot, or the person that can think of an answer on the spot, but also back it up with a proven arsenal, a toolbox of previously published content. Example, if I'm looking to design a website for you and you're a company wanting to pay someone $100,000 to build you a fantastic website, and you ask a question, can you tell me how we're going to convert users and traffic into email subscriptions? I could talk about that all day. That's what I do. That's how I grow my business. I could talk about that today forever. Isn't it better that rather than giving the answer, I'm pre-prepared? I've got something that I can leave with this person that I'm pitching to, and I can say, well, the way that I would do that is I would design a high quality but very, very simple funnel that attracted someone to give me their email address and tag them in the relevant way and give them some value back, but then obviously devise a drip campaign and an onboarding campaign that nurtured that person through. Oh, and by the way, here's actually, I've got a little on my business card, the back of the business card, or here's a little A5 flyer that I'm going to give you. Actually, it's part start the pitch and just look on the back of that, because on the back of that is a link. And it's a link to some audio that I've created on how to design the perfect B2B email funnel. And you can listen to that on your way home. And guess what? That person, when they listen, they get to know me more, and I become positioned as the expert. I become positioned as the expert, not the other people pitching, me, because they see the other content that I've done, and it starts getting them to think about things that they've maybe never thought about before. And that is reason number 2, a toolkit, an arsenal of content that you can rely upon to get you through that extra value that you need to deliver in pitches. The third way that a podcast will benefit your business, it's a network tool. It's a way to build a bigger, wider network. Imagine if you are a design company and you completely want to work with some of the biggest brands in the world, but it's really hard to get to know the people that are commissioning the work because everyone wants to work with them. So every pitch they put out, every request for quotation, every RFQ that they put out, everyone is replying to, well, wouldn't it be great if you were positioned as the expert and if you were positioned as someone that knew about that industry? What better way to do that than to interview and to devise a piece of content, a show, a podcast that interviews the decision makers, all right? You could devise a podcast very easily that interviews some of the top marketing managers in some of the world's biggest blue chip brands to find out what it takes to make that marketing department tick and what it takes to achieve world-class design and marketing campaigns. What if you were the person interviewing the marketing director of Nike? Wouldn't it be fantastic to be able to email them and say, hey, your interview's live. By the way, I'm here if you need me, to keep in touch and to build genuine relationships and friendships. It works, all right? It works. So if you don't have a podcast for your business, it is vital, in my view, to have some kind of content that positions you as the expert, that you can rely upon as a toolkit and an arsenal of content to help you through some of the questions that you're going to get and to help people through that know, like, and trust process. Plus, of course, you need to just be there every time someone searches. Every time someone searches, and there's no better way of doing that than providing interactive content, just like a podcast. So let me know if you need a hand with this. Let me know if you're looking at this on YouTube or LinkedIn. Let me know in the comments. If you're listening to the audio version of this content, let me know by reply on Twitter at Mr. Asquith. Just let me know what I can do to help you with your business podcast. And please, 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 please get on it today and keep on captivating.